guys, what's up? It's me, GTO MMA, and I know it's kind of late to react on the UFC Freedom 250, but it's by design, alright? I want to listen to your opinions first. I scoured the social media first to look for your opinions and your general consensus about the card, so that I could react to that as well. All right, because unlike the UFC, I actually listen. All right, I actually listen. So, secondly, I am in college and I have a life, so I can upload that much. All right, so moving on. Okay, so let's start on the main fight. The I don't know, man. This is expected. We expected this to happen, of course. But is it Freedom 250 material? I don't think so. I don't think so because it's not competitive. This Ilya Topuria versus Justin Gaethje is not competitive at all. First of all, Ilya Topuria knocked out Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira, and Charles Oliveira and Max Holloway beat the shit out of Justin Gaethje before. So I don't know what what the UFC is thinking, but Justin Gaethje is gonna be knocked out here. I can see Ilya Topuria finding a uppercut or a hook. Yeah, yeah. When Big Rufus, ducks down, there's uppercut coming right at him. Mm. So yeah, this is the public execution number one. All right, this fight. Mm. It's not exciting at all, and I mean if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. It should have happened on a other fight card. But Ilya Topuria has issues on custody battles. He had custody battles against his wife, so he can't fight. He can't fight yet. So they have to fight here in the Freedom 250. Fucking bullshit ass fight. So okay, moving on. Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gane. Okay, now we're getting to the most competitive fight here in this card. Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gane. All right, so this fight is competitive because they're both kickboxers and their skill level is pretty close. Alex Pereira having a slight advantage, while Cyril Gane is also a predictable fighter. So he might even pull a knockout on Alex Pereira, but I'm not saying that he will. But he might. He might do it. He might do it. But I got Alex here. I got Alex here. So the general consensus of you MMA fans is that it's a close fight. It's a close fight. Also think that it's going to be a close fight. I also think that it's going to be a close fight with a slight chance of a Alex Pereira domination. All right. So that's gonna be my prediction. All right. I'm starting to sound like the UFC weatherman here. Okay, so before moving on, let's talk about our favorite duck, John Jones. All right, let's talk about him. First of all, I'm gonna say that he's not the best human being. I mean, he's one of the worst out there, especially in the UFC. But I think the UFC also did him dirty because supposedly he was going to fight Alex, but that didn't go through because they didn't want him to. The UFC didn't want to pay him 30 million. He's asking for 30 million initially because that's what the UFC offered him to fight Tom Aspinall, and then they offered him 15 million to fight Alex Pereira in this card. So I think there's a slight, you know, No, no, it's not a slight misunderstanding. What the UFC did was they paid that 15 million to Conor Ben. All right, to get him to join Sufa boxing. All right, they stole Conor Ben from Eddie Hearn. Is it Eddie Hearn? Yeah, it's Eddie Hearn. So they stole Conor Ben from Eddie Hearn. That's a total other different story. I'm not gonna talk about it here. And then Eddie Hearn was hired by Tom Aspinall to be his manager, but that's a totally different story. Again, I'm sidetracking. Okay, where are we? John Jones. All right, John Jones. So, so yeah, the UFC did him dirty. The UFC is basically saying that they're willing to pay a second-rate boxer for 15 million. You know, he's a second-rate boxer with some pull on the UK crowd, but he's second-rate at most. The UFC is willing to pay 15 million for that, and they're not willing to pay 15 million for John Jones, who is skill-wise one of the goat in the UFC, one of the UFC goats. In terms of skill, alright. In terms of personality, I don't think so. But yeah, it just makes me upset, man. The UFC is devaluing their own fighters. It it makes the sport lose self-respect, and I don't know. As a fan, I makes me upset, man. All right, stop the baby ass talk and let's move on to Shannon O'Malley versus Ayman Zahabi. Okay, general consensus of UFC fans that Shannon O'Malley should fight Corey Sanhagen here, and I think that's right. Yeah, a lot of fans have been waiting for that, but the UFC just ain't gonna let that happen because they know Shannon O'Malley is gonna lose. You know, Shannon O'Malley is bad at grappling. When I mean bad grappling. You know, seeing his fight with Merab, shitty ass grappling. So they pair him up with a striker now. I think a 39-year-old striker, 38, 39. Yeah, but he's not washed at all. He's not washed. His fight against Aldo was great. Yeah, it's such a great fight. But in personal opinion, they shouldn't be fighting, especially in this card. This is not Sean O'Malley is one of the greatest industry plants ever. I mean, great in terms of the resources poured into him, but his failures are also great. So then the UFC need to compensate for that, for his skill deficiencies. So they put Ayman Zahabi there. Oh man, they're just maximizing entertainment value here. They're minimizing the amount of grapplers in this card, so they put Ayman Zahabi there. Corey Saneg is no grappler by any means, but he can pin down Sean O'Malley. So our final prediction for this fight is Sean O'Malley by, oh my god, probably decision. Yeah, Sean O'Malley probably by decision. Okay, but this is also another public execution. Sean O'Malley is gonna steamroll over Ayman Zahabi. So moving on to another fucking public execution of Michael Chandler. Mauricio Rufy versus Michael Chandler. First of all, why is Michael Chandler uh getting a fight against a opponent that is higher ranked than him?
What the
Bro, Michael Chandler is on a losing streak. What? Why? Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. But I can argue that this fight is a little competitive. Maybe. No, no, not at all. Michael Chandler's last win was washed Tony Ferguson. No, no, that's not a good win at all. That's not a good win at all. So I'm gonna give it to Mauricio Rufy here. A TKO probably third round. Yeah, and At this point, I don't really care about what you think about the general consensus of this fight. Uh, so let's move the fuck on, bro. Okay, Bo Nickel versus Cal Daukas. Why is there an unranked fight here, bro?
Brother, ugh.
They've been hyping this card for months. For months, bro. And then they put a unranked fight here. Trump is said before that, oh, we're going to have 9 title fights. Oh, it's going to be the best fight card of the decade. Then they have Bo Nickel versus Cal Daukas. Two fighters that should be headlining a UFC fight night. Fighting in front of 20 people. Alright? Man, come on, bro. Okay, Bo Nickel is here just because of the boomer wrestling Midwestern fans. Alright? Oh my god, bro. But Bo Nickel's gonna steamroll over Cal Daukas. 100%. They're gonna duke it out, no grappling here. I know Bo Nickel's famous for his wrestling, but no grappling here. They're gonna duke it out. Alright? That's what's going to happen. I don't care about what you think anymore. But that's going to happen, alright? And Bo Nickel probably by decision as well. Okay, moving on. Diego Lopez versus Steve Garcia. Is this a public execution? I don't think so. No, but oh my god, bro. Diego Lopez. Okay, slight advantage to Diego Lopez. No, big advantage to Diego Lopez. I can see Diego Lopez knocking out Steve Garcia. Yeah, I can see that. No, actually. Alright, I'm gonna make the first my first crazy prediction as a MMA YouTuber. Alright. Steve Garcia by TKO. Look. Because guys, look. Look at his previous fights. Almost all of his wins are KO TKO fights. Look. KO TKO, KO TKO, KO TKO fights. TKO. Well, Calvin Cater. Oh, this is a nice fight. This is a nice fight against Calvin Cater. No, it's not a nice fight. But what I mean is, it's a nice win, I guess. I mean, it's Calvin. It's the shell of Calvin Cater, but it's still Calvin Cater. Calvin Cater was good, man. People forget, man. People forget. All right, so most of these are KO TKO. So I think it's gonna be a fluke KO TKO against Diego Lopez. I know Diego Lopez haven't been knocked out yet, like cold. So it's going to be probably a KO TKO that is a fluke. There has to be a fluke here in this card. You know, in this type of card, there's bound to be a couple of flukes, and I think that's going to be in the Diego Lopez versus Steve Garcia fight. All right. So that is my reaction to the Freedom UFC Freedom 250. I hope you like it. And like, subscribe, comment down below. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.